This is Sunday, January 30th, Mid-Atlantic Weather Outlook. We're going to highlight the precipitation for the middle part of the week and potential for snow next weekend if things come together as some of the models show. So the first thing I want to look at is the storm that's coming on shore out west in California. This is the low pressure system that's going to track all the way across the country. You're going to hear a lot about this storm because it is going to cause a lot of snow for areas that needed it in the Midwest. Ice potential as well, and then we have the snow up in New England yet again. And what we're seeing here, we're actually seeing more of the surface temperatures. I just wanted to show that there is some cold air that's going to be trapped down here for the time coming Tuesday into Wednesday, actually Monday night into Tuesday. There's enough here for Northern Virginia to maybe see a little bit of ice, sleet mix. They're calling for some mixes during this time period, but it's really looking cold. Again, not cold, warm. With this low being this far west, you can already start to see really warm air. This line here is really warm air coming northward. So we're not going to see a lot of ice, at least from what I can tell at this point. I also wanted to highlight that the warm air really surges north. You can see it coming up to central part of Virginia. I mean, in this area, we're talking mid-60s possible for a Wednesday time frame. That's actually really warm. You can see right on his heels out here, though, this cold air that's going to be coming in. And after this storm heads out by next weekend, highs will again only be in the 20s to low 30s for a few days. And then we got to watch for our next system. And this system looks plenty cold. You have a coastal low pressure system again, now off the coast. So the low being out here and moisture coming in as well as cold air here. I mean, this could be actual snow, and snow for a lot of people in Virginia. So now this is the GFS model. There is some hint of this as well on the European model, and the difference between the two is the European is a little more marginal, meaning it's closer to freezing for the total precipitation. And I wanted to show just kind of the model output at this point from our precipitation. Now, what I would tell you is the GFS tends to be a little bit southeast biased, so the precipitation could be a little further off the coast. It also could mean that areas that are looking like they're cold, at least on the coast, could be a little bit warmer. But this shows potential for quite a bit of precipitation. I'm not saying that there will be a ton, but definitely something that we could look into and possibly see some snow here. This would show about maybe a 3 to 6 inch type of precipitation of snow. Anyway, that's for next weekend. We'll see if it comes true. Really quick, one last thing I wanted to highlight here, and that is the amount of precipitation on Wednesday. Northern Virginia looks like a pretty good slug of moisture, but New England is really going to get it. I mean, we're now talking precipitation at 1.5 inches or more. You also see a big amount of moisture in the Midwest. Again, like I was saying, this will probably be one of the bigger snowstorms in the Midwest, 10 to 20 inches, maybe even more. New England will definitely see another big shot of snow. But the other area to watch out of concern here is going to be the icing and mixing and stuff. We get it early on here in Northern Virginia, but later on up into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and the valleys are going to have to watch out for some mixing and some sleet and freezing rain. Anyway, that's it for the Mid-Atlantic Weather Outlook for today on Sunday, January 29th.